GEC, what does it stand for? You might hope it stands for Grand Eating Contest, though the genuine and far less tasty meaning for this term is global environmental change, which is essentially a term to describe the change in the environment that has a global effect. Shocking, I know. The effects of GEC can range across different Earth systems, such as increases in global temperature, which would predominantly affect the cryosphere by melting ice caps, and simultaneously affect the atmosphere, leading to dramatic and unpredictable weather patterns. Possibly less considered global issues arise over farming, which in itself is broad and covers deforestation and water pollution to genetic erosion and, well, actual erosion. Most people nowadays have heard the term climate change and may be aware of its role that greenhouse gases play in this. Less known are increases in greenhouse gases caused by over-farming. This is especially relevant in New Zealand as we pride ourselves on our farming culture, with agricultural industry contributing to 5% to New Zealand's GDP, equivalent to $10.6 billion. China and the United States are the two leaders in greenhouse gas emissions from agriculture, meaning this issue is requiring intergovernmental communication and coordination to come up with a solution suitable for all.
When the term greenhouse gas emissions is talked about, people often don't understand the extent of which industries emit the most. As it stands, the IPCC, or Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, who are world leaders of climate change data, have concluded that agricultural practices were responsible for around 12% of anthropogenic global greenhouse gas emissions in 2010, anthropogenic meaning from human activity. These figures are far more shocking within New Zealand, with the Ministry for the Environment stating in 2015 that almost half of New Zealand's gross emissions came from agriculture.
The 12% per year of greenhouse gases produced by agriculture is approximately 6 billion tonnes, or the equivalent of 4.2 million Ford Hiluxes for you farmers out there. This can be produced on farms in several different ways, such as cow belching, manure emissions, or fires that have been purposely lit to clear land. Though the problem isn't just the amount, but also the type produced. Nitrous oxide is a potent greenhouse gas that is 230 times more efficient at warming than carbon dioxide. And as of 2007, the IPCC has stated that 60% of anthropogenic nitrous oxide emissions have been produced as a result of agriculture. Not only is nitrous oxide a greenhouse gas, but also produces nitric oxide free radicals that interact with the ozone molecules and add to the growing issue of ozone depletion. As we mentioned before, a main impact of agriculture greenhouse gases include that pesky climate change, which is strongly linked to globally increased temperature. Additionally, the greenhouse gases produced have implications on increasing ocean acidification and temperature, which will lead to devastating effects within the aquatic food chain, and is already affecting the aquatic life, as can be seen in the mass coral bleaching events.
So, what can be done, you might be asking yourself? Are we just doomed to burn up in a gassy ball of fire? Well, no, at least not yet. There is room for change as long as action is taken soon. Pressure needs to be put on governments to more heavily regulate the agricultural practices, such as more efficient fertiliser storage techniques to reduce nitrous oxide and methane release. As well as the storage techniques, fertiliser use also has room to be optimised. Pasture quality would increase and lead to improvements in animal productivity, while reducing the amount of methane they produce, and in all, happy farms lead to happier atmospheres and happier people. You, as the consumer, can also help reduce methane release by buying from more local sources and reducing the animal products in our diet.